I ever work on documentaries? Yes, in fact, I'm working on a great documentary right now with a friend and professional collaborator, Burton Chatelain Jr., and it is called The 600. You can follow it at The 600 Movie on TikTok. I think the question you're probably asking, though, is do I produce documentaries or do I finance documentaries? And the answer to that is pretty much no. Documentaries are really hard to get financed because there's no script, there's no telling what the footage is going to look like that's shot. So it's really hard to get established as a documentarian to the point where people trust you and your work enough where they are going to outlay money up front. So typically, most documentaries are produced with sort of like a hybrid model. So usually it's the documentarian bootstrapping the documentary until it's about 80% finished. So what this looks like is they'll have a cut of the documentary. It will have footage in it that they've shot. It will also have archival footage, but none of that archival footage is paid for. It may need, all the finishing. It may need final color. It may need final sound. It may need all the little things that happen in post-production after the edit is done. They may need to pay for a narrator, so they might put aside some money to pay for a famous narrator. They're almost finishing the documentary. They're almost telling the whole story, and then the money comes in at the end once we can see like what the documentary is going to be. There's actually another documentary I've got right now that is a World War II documentary that's going to be fantastic. And then there is another documentary I'm working with that is totally done. Really, all I'm doing on that one is bringing the name as a narrator, and everybody else has done most of the hard work. So I'm making my decisions about these documentaries pretty much after I can watch almost the whole thing. So I think that reflects the reality of what it's like making documentaries out there. These days, you really have to be an entrepreneur and self-finance, self-bootstrap it until you're at the point where you have a good narrative, you have a cut of the movie, and then you can look for people who are willing to provide some finishing funds to do the last, post costs and stuff like that. That might be $50,000 to $100,000 to finish your documentary, something like that. You can find that out there, but they want to see it first. Documentary is a huge risk off of to greenlight off of just like a pitch deck.